My next book is called How to Build a Positive Attitude and Keep the Darn Thing. And the title there, I think we all chuckle, because don't we try to stay positive as best we can? And you look at all the challenges, the state which you're facing in and your positions and everything, it's hard, because you want to be positive and then you get knocked down. Or it's the way someone acts and all this and that and the other. You go, how do you keep this darn positive attitude? And so what I've done the last few years is been dedicated to trying to come up with a template of how to stay positive. And it's going to be a book with a lot of places to write, and I love doing the seminar. But I wanted to share with you a current Michigan story of the power of the positive attitude. And as I drove up here on 69 yesterday, went by Three Rivers. Who's in the Three Rivers area? Anybody close to Three Rivers? Okay, absolutely. Well, one of the things I talk about in this book is we have to work hard at staying positive. And yeah, there's all those traditional things like reading positive things and CDs, and I know some people, okay. But I really make that effort to constantly look for positive stories. And I heard about a young man from Three Rivers named Chandler McBride. He's a senior there. All right, he's a good kid, strong academics, going to be in college. He was on the track team and a real good football player, getting ready for his senior year. And he went to a buddy's house for a little pool party, a lot of parents there and everything, and he just sort of ran in real quick and jumped in. Thought it was that part where the shallow end went to the deep, but it wasn't. And he hit head first. And immediately people knew something was wrong. And a dad jumped in and kept him alive because otherwise he would have drowned. And they took him, they flew him to Kalamazoo in the helicopter, and the doctors, they can be blunt, they told him and his mom, his dad lives out in Oregon, he said he's paralyzed, quadriplegic, and he's going to have to be fed through a tube the rest of his life. And so his life had changed right away. But everything I've read about this kid is how grateful he is despite all this. The Detroit Free Press has done a wonderful series of articles on him. You know what he says? After now, that's been several months ago. He says he's thankful that someone was there to save him in the pool. He's thankful that his high school classmates have been so supportive. He's thankful for the doctors and the staff at the hospital in Ann Arbor where he stayed for over 100 days. Thankful that his friends came up and spent the night, that they hid in the bathroom when hours would end so that then they could sneak back out and be with him. And he's thankful for his mom. You think we got challenges? His mom, Monica, she has multiple sclerosis. And she gets up several times every night to flip him over so he doesn't have bed sores. Yeah. And they had to move recently, they thought they were, to a little 3-bedroom or upstairs apartment because the little $28,000 house, foreclosed house they bought was just in terrible shape. So, I mean, everything was against them, but this kid is so grateful. Then the community learns, and this is what the power of the Michigan community can be. And they learned about his situation. One of the top house builders there got all his competitors together, wiring, electrical competitors. Hundreds of people came together, and they've taken that terrible, horrible-looking home, gutted it. The football players came over, helped tear out the walls. The neighbors gave up their electrical so they could plug in as they were fixing it, and they've made it into this beautiful home. And he was at that hospital all fall. He got out right before Thanksgiving and went over to see it. Tears in his eye. They turned his bedroom into a sports shrine. His mother was overwhelmed, and the community did it by coming together. This is an amazing thing. And this young man, one of the things he said he was thankful for, he said the most important thing, he said he was thankful for God. The day before he had his accident, he went to hear a motivational speaker, a young fellow from Australia with no arms and no legs, and he heard the speaker say, in life, don't look horizontally, look vertically, look to God. And at that event, Chandler McBride bought a little pendant that has Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous. Do not get discouraged. Do not be afraid because your God is with you every step of the way. And he held on to that all through the hospital and would have his mom read it. And he just stayed the most optimistic young man. And the other thing he does, again, it's all about being positive, but also that fire within. He has said, he will not say the words paralyzed. He says, one day there's going to be a solution. He says, it may be stem cell. He said, they're going to do something one day. One day. He stayed positive. And I'll tell you another thing. I gave the Detroit Lions a hard time earlier, and I know they had a bad year. They didn't get the job done, obviously. But let me tell you, talking about running the steps in the tripod way, there's a lot of times where sports teams will have a very ill kid come out, and they'll be good to the kid. They'll shake his hand, pose for pictures. You know, sort of the tripod way. They really care. But let me tell you what the Lions did a few weeks ago, towards the end of the year. They're having a terrible year. They probably wanted to get over. But they had learned about him, and they invited him to come up for a whole practice. So he's in their little bubble facility. He gets to see the whole practice. His mom's with him. He can't believe it because his favorite player in the world is Calvin Johnson, and now he's seeing him like this, the great Lions receiver, the best in football. And then he doesn't expect this. At the end of the practice, the Lions coach yells, "Chandler, get out here!" And let me read you what he said in the paper. "I about crapped my pants." Next thing you know, they're sort of getting him out there to the whole team. And Matthew Stafford, the quarterback, says, "We're going to have you score one more time. We're taking you down to the goal line." And they take him down there, and the whole Lions defense lines up. Calvin Johnson lines out to the right. The offensive line gets there. And Stafford says, "We're going to call a handoff to you right up the middle." And he looks at the defense and he says, "Would you all please block because they're big?" And Matthew Stafford goes in all these audibles and everything. "Hut one, hut two." And Johnson goes in motion, takes it and gives it to him, and he wheels right in and scores. His mother couldn't take pictures because she's crying so much. And it's just an amazing, amazing moment that just makes you feel good about life and that perseverance that he has.